Today we'll be discussing another form to write a linear equation in. The form that we will be discussing today is called standard form. The standard form of a linear equation is the following. It is another form to write a linear equation. It is useful in making quick graphs because getting both the x and y intercepts are easy. Okay, so our form that we had before today that we used, sorry about that, the form we had before today was slope-intercept form. So as a quick review, that form was y equals mx plus b. Our standard form today then is the following form: ax plus by equals c. A, b, and c are real numbers. And a and b cannot both be 0 at the same time. So if we look at example 1, it gives us the equation here in standard form. 3x plus 4y equals 8. And it wants us to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. In order to find the x-intercept, remember the x-intercept is where y equals 0. The y-intercept is where x equals 0. So over here, to find my x-intercept, I know that the x-intercept is where y equals 0. So I'm going to replace my y with 0. 3x plus 4 times 0 equals 8. 4 times 0 is 0, so I get 3x equals 8. Divide both by 3. So my x is equal to 8/3, which is the same as 2 2/3. So that's my x-intercept. My y-intercept, which we are more used to using because of our slope-intercept form up here, the x-intercept is where, or the y-intercept is where x is equal to 0. So I replace the x with 0 this time, and we get the y by itself. 3 times 0 is 0. 4y equals 8. Y equals 2. So my y-intercept there is 2. The next one wants us to use that x and y-intercept that we find in order to graph. So it says we're going to graph 2x plus 3y equals 12 using our intercepts. First one I'm going to find is the x-intercept. That means I replace the y with 0. So I'm just left with 2x equals 12. Because I replaced y with 0, and 3 times 0 is 0. Get the x by itself. So x equals 6. So my x-intercept here is 6. So I put a point on my x-axis at 6. My y-intercept then, which is also your b, you want to think of it as that, is when x equals 0. So I replace x as 0. 2 times 0 is 0. So I'm left with 3y equals 12. Divide both sides by 3. And we end up with y equals 4. So over here, my y-intercept is y equals 4. I now have my 2 points, so we connect them with a straight edge. So get a straight edge of some sort, the side of your book, side of your planner, a ruler, any of those would work. And remember, because the lines never end, there will be arrows on both ends in order to get it correct. Example number 3 then wants us to graph horizontal and vertical lines. So on this first one, y equals -3. Well, if you think of it, if we do a little t-chart over here just so I can show you an example, it tells me y equals -3. That means every time y equals -3. So if x is 0, y equals -3. If x is 2, y equals -3. If x is -2, y equals -3. So then I graph my points. 0, -3. 2, -3. -2, -3. We can connect our points here to create our line. And you should notice that it is a horizontal line. So anytime you have y equals any number, it's going to be a horizontal line. The other thing you'll want to remember is your slope and y-intercept. So slope is the steepness of the line. This line does not go up or down at all, so the slope is 0. Your y-intercept, if I look here, my y-intercept is -3. That's what number was in the original equation. So your b will be whatever number y was originally equal to. Graph number 2 then is asking you to graph an x equals 2. So on my points, x always equals 2. My y's could be anything. So I have 3 points there. 2, -3. 2, 0. 2, 3. So if you are noticing something, you will notice that this time your line is going to be vertical. So anytime you have an x equals a number, you are going to have a vertical line. Your slope here, as a quick review, the difference of the y, so let's say my difference of my y is 3. I didn't go left or right at all, so my difference of my x is 0. So y over x would be 3 over 0. Can we divide by 0? We cannot. So what this is called is the slope of a vertical line is undefined, meaning we can't find it because we can't divide by 0. The b here, or the b, you notice, it will never cross this y-axis unless x equals 0. So it will not have one. So in this case, it doesn't have a b because it never crosses the y-axis. Go ahead and turn our page. Example number 4 is taking one in slope-intercept form and rewriting it in standard form. So remember, our form that we want it rewritten in is ax plus by equals c. And it says write this in standard form using integers. That's only positive and negative whole numbers. So I need to make sure that I'm only dealing with whole numbers in this case. So I have to remove the fraction. In order to remove the fraction here, I multiply by the denominator of 4. So I rewrite this equation as 4y equals 3x plus 8. And now I have to get it in the correct standard form, so I need to move my x to the other side. The opposite of a positive x is to minus x. And I need to write it in the correct form where x comes first, so that's a negative 3x plus a 4y equals 8. It's now in standard form because I have ax plus by equals c. Example number 5 is our real world problem here. It says write an equation in standard form to find the minutes someone who weighs 150 pounds would need to bicycle and swim laps in order to burn 300 calories. So if I look here, I'm talking about bicycling and swimming laps. And I want to burn a total of 300 calories. I want to burn a total of 300 calories. It says for a 150-pound person. Well, this is listed for a 150-pound person. So, for bicycling, it burns 10 calories per minute of bicycling. Plus, if you swim, it burns 12 calories per minute swimming. So our equation is 10b plus 12s equals 300. It's in standard form because it's ax plus by is equal to 300. Go ahead and look at your schedule to find out your assignment for this section.